So, blue-hearted fans, will Everton finally make a splash in the transfer market? While the board is preaching patience, negotiations are heating up behind the scenes. There's a new name being floated as a solution for the attack, another with a risk of injury that's dividing opinions, and even a soap opera that could end up with Chelsea getting in the way of our plans. And hey, Calvert-Lewin's replacement could be closer than you think. Stay with me until the end, because there's a lot of hot stuff to talk about. Take advantage and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the video. Everton scored only 42 goals in the last Premier League, a number that, let's face it, is not something to be proud of. David Moyes knows this and wants to turn the page, transforming the Toffees into a more exciting team, especially now that we're about to leave Goodison Park. But anyone who thinks the club has already stepped on the gas when it comes to signings is mistaken. Barry and Grealish have yet to sign, and that has left Moyes scratching his head. The plan now: take advantage of Ipswich's relegation and try to sign Omari Hutchinson, a young striker valued at 30 million, but who, according to a former Everton scout, could be worth around 20 million. Hutchinson's shown in the Championship and also for the England U21 team, where he scored against Germany in the European Championship final. His talent is undeniable, his potential is immense. But is he worth the gamble? He has little experience in the Premier League and his performances are still inconsistent. The board will have to weigh up carefully. Is he raw talent or a calculated risk? And speaking of risk, Wilfred Ndidi is available for a bargain, $9 million. A player with a solid history in the Premier League, with a reputation even with Guardiola, who has already ranked him among the best midfielders in the league. But the scenario is not that simple. Ndidi's history of injuries, especially to his hamstring, is a cause for concern. Physiotherapy specialist Dr. Rajpal Brar has already warned that this would be a high-risk signing for him physically. Can Everton, which is already struggling with a small and fragile squad, afford to add another name that could spend more time in the medical department than on the pitch? Fans are divided, but financial and sporting logic seems to point to another path: investing in younger, more versatile players, and with less chance of becoming medical headaches. Now there is light at the end of the tunnel. Everton is confident that it will sign Thierno Barry, a young goal scorer who shone at Basel and then Villarreal. He scored 19 goals between the two clubs, and the French under-21 player is also one of the best in aerial duels in Europe, according to FPref. Villarreal has already signaled that it will not make the exit difficult as long as Everton reaches an agreement with the player. The English club has already presented its project and is now working to convince Barry to swap Spain for Merseyside. With the departure of Calvert-Lewin, which we will talk about later, Barry is emerging as a top priority. Moyes wants a decisive physical number 9 with a hunger for goals, and Barry, by all indications, could be exactly that guy. And yes, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is leaving. He is expected to officially say goodbye this Tuesday, ending a 9-season career in the blue jersey. Injuries, moments of brilliance, important goals, affection from the fans, but also frustrations. The departure was inevitable, and now the race to find interested parties begins. According to Mark McAdam from Sky Sports, between 10 and 15 clubs, including European ones, have already approached the striker. West Ham is emerging as one of the favorites, mainly due to the possible vacancy left after the failed negotiation with Fulkrug. What's more, Graham Potter, who could lead the Hammers, has already shown that he knows how to get the most out of DCL-type strikers. For Everton, the mission is clear: to make good use of the space left by Calvert-Lewin and invest wisely. Barry's name is once again gaining traction. But Calvert-Lewin's departure is not just about numbers or strategy. It's about identity. For years, he was Everton's attacking reference. Even in his low moments, he represented that hope that, with a crossed ball or an aerial play, something could happen. A profile that cannot be replaced overnight. And then comes the question: is the club prepared to change its style along with the player? Barry, for example, has more mobility and less physical presence. Will Moyes adapt his style of play, or will he try to find a more direct replacement along the lines of DCL? The fans will need to be patient because the offensive reconstruction is only just beginning. At right back, another saga. Kenny Teat had given the green light to wear blue, but Fulham entered the game with a more attractive offer and stalled everything. The situation was at a standstill, and Everton now needs to act quickly. Plan B? Kyle Walker-Peters, formerly of Southampton, who is free on the market and is seen favorably by Moyes. The problem is that Besiktas has already moved forward and made direct contact with the player's staff. In addition to Everton and Besiktas, clubs such as Chelsea, Tottenham, Palace, Bournemouth, and Fulham are also monitoring the situation. A crowded market where everything can change at any moment, but the fans want an answer. Both Tete and Walker-Peters have experience in the Premier League, quality, and are out of contract. If Everton wants to strengthen the squad and avoid improvisation in this sector, the time to decide is now. Walker-Peters, for example, has a more attacking style and can offer the depth that Everton lacked so much last season. He has good ball control, gets into attack well, and, despite his short stature, makes up for it with his reading of the game and agility. Moyes, who values fullbacks who know how to support, could find him to be a very useful player. Tet, on the other hand, brings a more combative stance, with more strength in defensive one-on-one situations. He is a fullback who is especially appealing in more physical games, and his experience in the Premier League is a significant differentiator in a squad that seeks stability. Between the two, there is no easy choice. Everton will have to weigh up urgency, budget, and, most importantly, the style that Moyes wants to implement. So, fans, of these 5 moves that are being considered by Everton, which one excites you the most? Is Barry the right choice for the attack? Is it worth the risk with Hutchinson or Ndidi? And at fullback, should you hold on to Tete or go all out for Walker-Peters? Comment below with your opinion, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next updates, and activate the bell, because the transfer window is just beginning, and Everton will still have a lot to talk about.